Hey, fourth grade. Today I'm going to make a video for you that is division showing the area model. We're going to be working with this problem, 1,672 divided by 4. So you might recognize I am going to need this area model box. And I'm going to split it into fourths because I have 4 digits here. So I'm going to put the 2 here, the 70, the 600, and the 1,000. What looks a little different is when we were multiplying, we put the numbers on the top, but we're actually going to be, when we're dividing, we put the numbers in the middle, and I'm going to show you why. All right, so we are dividing by 4. So as I think about this problem, I've now stretched out my number. So now I'm going to actually kind of ignore these other digits for a moment, these other numbers for a moment, and I'm just going to be thinking, 1,000 divided by 4. And I'm still going to be thinking divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring it down. I'm still going to be thinking of all these steps, but I'm stretching out my numbers in expanded form and thinking about it in a different way. So now I'm thinking, well, I'm going to do my heavy hitters. 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 5, and 4 times 10. I'm going to fill these out. 4, 8, 20, and 40. And then I'm thinking, well, what's going to get me super duper close to 1,000? And I am going to, make this process somewhat easy on myself because, I mean, I have some heavy hitters here, and I know that I can get to 800 really, really quickly. If I do 4 times 3, well, that's 12. So if I did 4 times 300, that would be a little too big. So now I'm going to do 4 times 20, that's 80, and 4 times 200, that would be 800, and I'm thinking that's pretty close, so I think that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to put an 800 here. Well, how did I get to that 800? 4 times 200, so I'm going to put a 200 here, and then I'm going to subtract. And now I still have a 200. So that means it's going to be brought over here. So instead of 600, it's going to be 200, 200 plus 600, which happens to be, what is 2 plus 6? So now, instead of 600, I actually have 800 here. And then I'm like, ooh, well, I know how to get to 800 because I already did that. So I'm going to put another 200 here. 4 times 200 happens to be 800. When I subtract, I'm left with 0. Well, guess what? That means there's nothing to add to this column, but I still need to tackle this. 70 divided by 4. 70 divided by 4. Well, I'm going to get as close as I possibly can. So I know that 4 times 2 is 8. So I don't want to do 80 because that would be too big. So my only option is going to be 4 times 10, and I'm going to do 40, 0, 3, and then I'm going to bring over this 30, so 30 plus 2 happens to be 32, and 32 divided by 4 happens to be 8. Now I'm going to subtract, I'm left with the 0, so there's no remainder in this problem. But now I have all these partial quotients I need to add up. So now I'm going to need to add these up. So 200 plus 200, line them up carefully. 200 plus 200 happens to be, that's right, 400. I'm going to come down here, 400 plus 10 plus 8 is going to give me 418. Okay, so I'm going to say my quotient is 418, but there is a way to go back and double check. All right, so I'm going to scooch my paper over just a tiny little bit. So I'm going to say 418 times 4. 8 times 4 is 32. 4 times 1, 4 plus 3 more, 7. 4 times 4 is 16, and that matches what I started off with. So that's how I know I have the correct quotient.